Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. So this first story, I bet it went under the radar for you because it did for me. InstaRem was recognized as blockchain innovator at the Swell by Ripple conference just this last October, and it won the Network Accelerator Award. So that award is given out to somebody who can really use the RippleNet technology in a big way. So yeah, okay, it's a great award and congratulations. However, on Thursday, some big follow-up news has been announced. So InstaRem banks its first 20 million of a Series C funding. This is just the first 20 million of a $45 million series that should be complete by the end of January. Now, okay, it's getting better, right? Story's getting better. Well, let me just explain. Ripple did a little matchmaking. So a few months ago, they introduced the CEO of InstaRem. This is who you see pictured here. This is Pajit Nanu. And they introduced him to the company BTech in Brazil. And the person behind that company was Fernando Pavani. Okay, so sorry, Fernando, if I said that a little strange. And the match was made in heaven. So these two fell in love, if you will. And this ideal match has really created something big. So the arranged marriage, which Ripple calls they were the priest, is going to open up some really big corridors. It's going to happen between Brazil and Spain, Italy, Germany, France, and Portugal. And as you can see here in the article, it is also predicted that InstaRem is going to IPO in 2021. But the biggest part of the story is that InstaRem claims it has access to 3.21 billion consumer and business customers across 55 countries worldwide. That is just huge. This is going to be an enormous Ripple partner. Wow. Okay. This is a story that, I don't know, we just might have to give out another Hall of Shame award. It is something that was in the form of an interview on the Fortune site, and it's the co-founder of TransferWise, and he says he won't buy into blockchain until more banks use Ripple. Okay, well, it was a little bit strange, and I wasn't the only one to think it was strange. So Bhushan, oh gosh, Bhushan, I know I'm going to say your last name wrong. And I got in trouble with Ran Noon's office from Crypto Trader out of South Africa because I was saying his name as Ron. Well, if you're Ran, let me just tell you, if you were in Japan, RAN would be Ron. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it again, I'm sure. It's not that easy, especially when you're just reading and no one's ever told you how to pronounce their name. So Bhushan Aklakar. Sorry, Bhushan. But you had the same reaction I did to that story. So I'm really happy you wrote this. You wrote a story that is titled TransferWise Undermines the Potential Advantage of Blockchain Technology. And he decided to burst the myth that this startup communicates. And I thought, oh, good for you. So in the interview that you hear that is on the Fortune magazine site, he is quoted, he being the co-founder of TransferWise, his name is Hirinkis. There I go again. And Mr. Hirinkis said that if every bank in the world was going to, through the Ripple network, it would be amazing. Yet, how many banks are using Ripple today in production? It's a very short list, he said. In that sense, we're big supporters of Ripple or anything else. And if any of these gets enough adoption and it actually materially helps us do things cheaper and faster, we'd love to. But so far, we haven't found one. Huh? Well, he's saying that he just really doesn't believe in blockchain as he's seen it, but he's happy with his technology and his ability to charge his fee. It kind of sounds like Western Union to me. So Binance recently moved millions of dollars and in Bitcoin. And those funds were from a cold storage wallet. And for the transaction that took place, it was in block 550211. It shows that Binance transferred the Bitcoin worth just over $1 million on November 15th. Binance paid $8 for that transfer fee. And even bigger or more notable in regards to size was they also moved a size that totaled 600 million. So that was about 109,000 BTC. And at that time, it was valued at $600 million. And the second transaction on block 550156 comprised 591 bytes and yet caused Binance just over $7. So here is the point of the article. If we were to go by TransferWise charge of the 1% that they say they claim to charge, it would cost the startup a whopping $6 million to transfer $600 million worth of assets. So this itself goes to show that blockchain indeed has got some potential benefits as otherwise claimed by TransferWise. Yeah, so here to your article. If we go to this top 10 moneytransfer.com website, it is a place that actually looks at different money transfer companies and rates them, gives them a score. And it's based on many things like key features of support and how much the fees are, how much the exchange rate is, the speed, what kind of regulation they have. And when we come down, TransferWise is rated 7th. And in terms of time, it says here, according to them, it takes 0 to 3 days. The transfer fees are medium, so they are about 1%, but the exchange rate is high. So this is where I think those hidden fees lie. And so maybe somebody tells you, oh, we have just, such great low transfer fees. But the thing you really want to ask them is what the exchange rates are. Okay. C3 Nick, he's at it again. He found this article, which is on the Financial Times. If you go to a newsstand and you see those pink newspapers, that's the Financial Times. They were recently, back in 2015, purchased by a Japanese news media company called the Nikkei for $1.3 billion. They are now a subscription-based news source, although I think you can read 10 stories for free a month, but it's a very, very good quality source for news. And today, their article is titled, Bitcoin's Crash is Not the End of Cyber Currencies. And I want to just elaborate on this title a little bit more. So the person on the left here is now the senior analyst at Media Labs. That's Gary Gensler. He is also, though, the former U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commissioner. So he has been in the space and he's very crypto friendly. He makes a prediction that I found very interesting in this particular keynote address. He says that in 3 to 5 years, I should bring myself down just a little bit, huh? In 3 to 5 years, we should see direct retail deposits at commercial banks with digital assets. So this is in the middle of a big transformation for the financial sector. we are seeing adoption happening. In this 25-minute keynote address, he talks about basically crypto finance. It happened a couple of months ago, but I think it's very much worth listening to. He talks about the advantages, of course, being able to lower risk and cost. And when we do achieve this broad adoption, it's going to also have a little bit of public policy addressed. But at the end of the day, the social goods are real. So he is very much, I think, going to help the adoption by the financial institutions. And here is another very interesting, this is super interesting, actually. This is in addressing those digital assets. This is by the this is actually by the Bank of International Settlements. And it is, how many pages here? 34 pages. It is a study that's done about central bank digital currencies. And there's going to be a lot of talk about that because of what is being said at the IMF recently. So the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, they show you this graph, which is called a money flower. And the money flower is a taxonomy, which is just another word for classification, of the 4 types of digital currencies that they see being used in the near future. You have your private digital tokens, you have your central bank digital tokens, your money, whether it's physical or non-physical, and that will be part of a digital world because, well, now you can, if you have an account with Wells Fargo, of course, you can just transfer your money to your friends or family, and that would be the fiat, if you will, in a non-physical form. And then the 4th one, which is this one down here, which fits in the center area, is general purpose crypto assets. And that would be, for example, as it states, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So this is a very interesting structure of how it is probably going to look very soon. And I think that if we listen to Gary Gensler's keynote, and he believes it's going to happen in 3 to 5 years, I actually think it's going to be adopted quicker than that. Okay, and last but not least is Arunma Oteh. She is the Vice President and Treasurer of the World Bank. And here is something that was uploaded just what, November 12th. And only 51 views. I don't know, nobody's watching these, but yet there is just so much importance to what these key players are saying. So she was asked, what are the global economic impacts of blockchain? And she says that while blockchain fosters trust, transparency, security, resilience, and can empower the ordinary citizen, and the opportunities are enormous. So with this 1.7 billion people on the planet who do not have access to financial services, she really believes that clearly through the adoption of blockchain that we can have an inclusive world. So it's very positive, and I think it just ties in beautifully with C3 Nick's choice of article that he tweeted on Twitter today, because digital currencies, token, and Bitcoin and blockchain are absolutely here to stay. Okay, I'm going into the fluff. This is actually was a suggestion because this person who left a comment in my comment section obviously knows about Tokyo and the area. And if you want to see the old part of Japan when you come to Tokyo, Yes, this is the closest place to go, and it is really lovely. This is Kamakura, and Kamakura is very lucky that it sits between green hills and the ocean. And here you can have matcha tea and sit in a bamboo forest. I have been there. It's really great. This is one of the oldest. This one is wow, I don't remember if it was a temple or a shrine. I think it's temple, one of the oldest temples. It's over 1,000 years old. Here is the view of Mount Fuji in the back. This is the very, very, very large Buddha. So there are many things to see, many things to do. The city of Kamakura was the political capital back in 1192, and it lasted as the seat of power until about 1333. It is also here in this bay that you see that scrolls across. It's going to be the location for the Olympic sailing event. And there are shrines and temples, museums, cafes, restaurants, and this is a special place. You can go to the bank. The bank is a real old bank, but it has since been converted to a microbrewery. It was built in 1928. It survived the war. It has survived the earthquakes. In 2000, it was actually converted into a place to relax, eat, and drink. But the owner, Mr. Watanabe, Kaoru, and talk about pronunciation. I just have to say this. I had someone tell me that Watanabe was pronounced Watanabe. E is pronounced as A. So it's Watanabe. And same as the Prime Minister Abe. Some people in the US, I hear, call him Abi, but it's not. It's Abe. Sake is not sake to drink. It's sake. Karaoke is not karaoke. It's karaoke. So, yeah, this pronunciation business. You can correct me on names, no problem. But please don't correct me on my Japanese. I had someone in the comment section about 2 months ago that just wouldn't believe me that the E's are A's. Okay, so this bank has survived, and the art director passed away, who did it in 2015. He had it for 15 years and was the owner and proprietor. But his friend then picked that lease up in 2016 and opened it back up, and now it is just the sweetest, most amazing, look at the entrance, place to have a beer and some food. It's called the Bank. Very simple. They actually took 3 different style of design elements: Japanese, Italian, and I think it was French, if I remember right. And they kind of combined all 3 styles in one and created a very, I think, look at that. Very nice space. Very nice space. So it has an upstairs and a downstairs. It's in Kamakura. You can go see the old stuff, or you can go see some old stuff that's turned new. Okay, everybody. That's all I have for you today. Please take care. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving in the United States. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.